first squad to go, but Intel, Tom, I think you're cursing them out here. You were just talking about them, but they got charge rifled in the back. They get eliminated in 19th. McDonald's Wi-Fi don't want to be the third team, but it's crazy in this final game how crazy aggressive a lot of these teams are off the rip.
Yeah, if you're new to Series E, if you're new to Apex Legends that's competitive, as soon as you see that leaderboard coming out, everyone understands how hard they have to go in order to get inside of the money. So they fully send it and they recognize that they need to have a massive game going forward, and sometimes that ends up clearing the lobby out just a little bit faster than typical as GIB gets taken down. 3 squads already end up biting the dust. But Vicky, how are you going to say that? I cursed them because of the name, and now I'm cursing Team Intel. Am I just a cursed person? Is that what you're implying?
I called you a fortune teller earlier on, and now it's like the Grim is being read off the teacup. I don't know. The tea leaves has to tell its own story out here. And a lot of these teams that were struggling on the bottom end of the leaderboard looks like they're falling in and staying in that bottom end of the leaderboard. NTC now on top of the ship of Mirage Voyage, trying to take some shots, but Taylor's falls incredibly low. This is actually another team that I mentioned at the pre-show that I was expecting to pop off to see more of, but I haven't really been seeing them too much.
And there it is. No Name gets dropped by NTC. And the Spitfire, low-key, one of my favorite weapons to pick up off of the rip, because not a lot of people are expecting you to just rip in about 40 shots. And you can use it close range, you could use it medium range, not the best at long range, but one of those weapons that is a little bit underrated and underutilized. You need a lot of ammo for it overall, but we're going to see what Lonely Fans is up to. As you can see in the bottom left-hand side, 5th place for them. Trying to make some moves. You can see the smokes inside of the building. Buddha has been phenomenal today. At one point, looked like he was going to set the record for kills in Series E, as he had 7 kills with still 8 squads remaining. There goes the Sky Nade. A doesn't make his way up on over to the zip line, and just a little bit of a bait as they see the other team is ran outside of the Seer ultimate. One player remains on the roof, a couple players dancing left and right. There goes the enemy Seer ult, and it may be time for Lonely Fans to slow play this just a little bit.
Looking like a Venn diagram, and that is not the slow play that you were expecting. Blueberry got sent on in the front doors that were blown up. Looking to his back, he doesn't expect it. He has an EVA 8 with a gold shotgun bolt, but to his back, he wall bounces. It's not enough. Both players still are fully up and alive, and Buddha has to recover with the shield bat. He pulls it off. Now he's popping the med kit, but he's forced to leave his 2 teammates behind.
Nothing Buddha can do in this instance, but he looks like he's got the beam in his back pocket. Takes the rising down to no shields. Does get the knock onto MJ. Potential third party coming in for Mike and Ike as they take on over towards the bridge to try to defend MJ in his life. MJ ended up going for the flank. It's impressive to win that fight against MJ, considering the first shots with the R9 did not look very smooth, not very Buddha-like. The R3, though, completely on point. Just kind of shows you a little bit how mental this game is, too. He understood, both of my teammates already down. This is a 3 versus 1. How much fight do I necessarily have left? He had a lot left in him. MJ gets res. The cover from Silent has been phenomenal on top of the high ground. And you can see multiple squads have been eliminated. We're down to 14 already. 6 squads as the zone is closing. Cruisin continues to put in work, this time with the charge rifle on the Nova Prime. And the sing and dance with this player on top of the building has been insane. It's time to rotate, though. Silent drops down. MJ gets res. He's going to pop that med kit. And eventually they should be skyward diving out of here.
Cruisin's having his own party with the charge rifle somewhere in the distance. So while we saw a Renegade Trident make its way through the choke point right to the side of where McDonald's Wi-Fi is fighting off this squad, they are still in the circle. They drop some syringes, some extra equipment. He picks back that syringe, says, wait, I need that. Just try to drop that energy that I didn't need right here, as he is rocking the flatline and R9. They're gonna start rotating soon, but they're not able to cut off that squad that they were trying to contest here. They're able to take the gravity cannon, and now they're gonna be able to start rotating. Meanwhile, here's Cruisin still being a menace with the charge rifle. Lovely to see that he's got that purple sniper stock, as well as the 3 times to continuously put this pressure on that sole player that's on the high ground.
Yeah, if I'm not mistaken, the stock helps you with zooming in and reloading, I believe. So you're going to be able to get a little bit quicker with this charge rifle. The purple stock is definitely valuable in this instance, plus the 3x puts in some serious work. The 2.4, my favorite scope for this weapon overall. They say once you go past that, you start losing aim assists, and you know I'm not about that life, Vicky.
I agree, and I learned about that recently there too, especially since one of my favorite scopes is actually the 2x4. Realized I was just griefing myself. Also important too to make sure you have that purple sight or purple stock on the charge rifle. He gets that last player. He finishes 3 free agent esports, and the charge rifle in the hands of Cruzen just allowed him to basically wipe that entire squad. The kill feed showed us right. But I like how you highlighted what the stock does for the charge rifle, because when it comes to the reload animation, the team knows, but they're about to get into the open arms of Cruzen and his squad on the other side of this gravity cannon.
And they do. They take a ton of damage along the way. It's going to be Zell. Team Tyson is in the vicinity. Nice job from Team Tyson taking on over towards the high ground and picking them off, but then NC is in the area. It's going to be Thezar as NorCal gets eliminated in 12th place. Cruzen elects to not go for the smokes before he goes for the res. Has both of the smokes in his back pocket, has the creeping barrage if he wants to use it. Seer ultimate is going to be used as well, and the lobby continues to heat up as we jump on board with our team in second place. 2R1C. Looks like they got a fight over towards Jurassic Park.
This squad that's so close in that top 3 scoreboard right now, sitting in second place with 57 points after getting some KP to their name for this game. Random weird horizontal placement of that Rolling Thunder for that one missile. Avoids that with the Q from the Horizon. Something else that's super important too when it comes to the Horizon pick. It's not just the Catalyst counter picks, but of course you could take that Q up into the heavens and try to avoid that creeping barrage sometimes. BJ falls incredibly low, but he gets out of the line of sight. The smoke helping him out, giving him some extra insurance before the jump over through the bunker doors to finish him off. As a Seer ult comes out from Hierarcha, they have the notification and the information. Look at these double Seer ults. This is crazy right now, but this is what it seems to look like when it comes to the Seer meta that we've entered. Uchako falls low. Hierarcha's about to meet him right back in the lobby. Not much he could do when there's no cover to hide behind. And 2R1C, our squad in second place, gets taken out by Kraken's Lair, the squad that is currently sitting in 6th place with 40 points.
And they have a chance to potentially move inside of that top 3 area as Aegon by AOC starts to move up. You can see Orioles is interested with the scout. Doesn't have a digi threat on top of his R9, so if smokes end up going down, he's not going to be able to see through that visual clutter. Turns trying to crawl up. You can't crawl up there, Turns. You're going to have to use the door, buddy. But a nice job from Kraken's Lair to drop 2R1C. There goes the Seer ultimate.
Trying to get away, even if it means rotating on the outside of the circle, but look to your south. It's free agent players moving into third party. What timing after they had just gotten a knock on that squad that was trying to get away with the G7. Free agent players see the alley-oop with the gravity lift. Nowhere to run as they take down that player from the skies with the R9 clipping him. They're going to finish him off, get the dirty. They're trying to see the res happening in the distance. No way, Jose, as the shots with the flatline come out from first worst.
Doesn't get much better in terms of a third party. Both of these teams were still fighting, so you're able to pick up kills from both of these squads. There used to be a time, Vicky, when you would get the elimination from teams that were still on the ground. They got rid of that a couple of seasons ago. Made it a little bit more difficult to go for these kill records, but nice job from free agent players to be able to scoop in and pick up some serious kill points. Unfortunately for Turns, that ended up costing him his life, and it looks like it's going to cost him forces as well as the punches are coming through, and Aegon by AOC goes out in 10th place. Unfortunate timing for them, but great timing coming in for FA players, and they're not done yet as McDonald's Wi-Fi now comes in for the 5th party.
What is going on? This is looking like a grave. McDonald's Wi-Fi
as well. Medkits need them. Are they going to go for the res, or are they going to continue to push through? The wingman shots connect, but not enough. Knockdown shields being used as well. He's on the hunt, and he finishes it off. McDonald's Wi-Fi goes out, and Bin goes huge.
That was so entertaining. That 1v1 fight, all I could think about in my head was, wouldn't it be crazy if the kill got canceled from a Seer attack out of nowhere with a 6th party moving in? They get both players' banners, and free agent players are still up and alive thanks to Ben coming out on top. He's going to be able to pop the Phoenix kit and use the mobile respawn beacon that's to his left if he wants to opt to that. Doesn't look like that's what he wants to do. You can see the ping actually going down. Maybe just trying to take priority over going into that next circle so that way they don't run for their lives this entire rest of the game and be in a very difficult situation if there's no loot.
I wonder if they have a Moby on the body, and I think that was the play so they can just loot a little bit faster. He needs to go and continue to get medkits throughout all of this too. But the zone is going to start getting a little bit harder to manipulate because you do have zone number 3 closing, and we know what that's going to do for you. But this is an interesting play. I wonder if there just wasn't enough meds, Vicky. And he said, you know what? I'm going to get inside the zone, maybe craft something for you guys, and then we can get you back. But 6 kills, 4 assists. Been definitely looking like the MVP as this game as he perfectly ends up hitting his med kit. I was thinking, you know what would be just like some sweet, sweet Storm Point revenge if a Prowler came through when he was hitting he was hitting that Phoenix kick going down the hill.
You truly choose violence out here. I see your chaotic mind at work. I would have been so mad, but it's true. And what's crazy is with all that fighting, we didn't see the Prowlers try to grief any of those players. Maybe the Prowler dev was cleared prior, but it was just so chaotic in Jurassic Park. It was straight up like we were actually in the movie, minus the Prowlers being present. It was just the players that were the dinosaurs instead. Razor now playing off this little slight rock end, though. I like this position, but is it the best position with so many other teams that could take a high ground position right above them in that north side or through the gravity cannon? Like that, T, and then I got 3 climatizer circles. I don't want to jinx it out here. It's happened before, but let's see what next zone we're going to be seeing here for our game number 2. We also saw a lot of early fights, a lot of 50-50s off the rip in our game number 1. Now moving on to game number 2, are we going to be expecting the same type of violence chosen by these players?
It's going to be a Fragment West drop coming in from Razor, so they should be able to get some pretty good loot and then get out of the area. It doesn't seem like anyone has landed over there as we jump on board with Team Intel. Interesting when teams end up fighting for a survey because it's definitely not the best POI overall, but it can definitely lead to some good KP if you pick up these early kill points, and that looks like what Intel's thought process is. As you see, Mike and Ike takes down Kraken's lair. It's Dundee T getting dropped at the hands of Jet as well, and Intel looks like they should have this under wraps.
See Intel now wrapping around, cleaning up what's left here. Another team right back in the lobby. That's going to be FA players, and where FA players, I was expecting more out here from this team. This team's actually insane. That was previously known as Godfire. We've seen them in this lobby before, but unfortunately, it looks like they're having a difficult time right now with so many other teams right now as well, just choosing to be so aggressive off the rip. Now taking a look at where the circles are pulling, it's slightly north still, but it's pulling more towards Fragment, which is going to be great for Razor. They have all of Fragment to loot from. They could try to get the beacon if they have one of those control characters and the replicator on top of that, so they don't really have to engage in any of these fights just for right now, so that way they can just boost up their Evo shields with the replicator instead.
Yeah, and maybe their thought process was, hey, Mike and Ike's in first place. Let's land Lava City, try to grief their loot, and then charge them and go for a fight. But once they ended up securing POI, heck, 2 POIs directly towards the center, they get the dub in game number 1. Plus, they are granted the circle in game number 2. You could see where all side of the map are going to be, and that is going to be difficult because there's at least 5 or 6 that are going to have to rotate over from that countdown side. So that's going to be interesting as they make their way over towards Fragment. Great loot to start here from Aegon by AOC, but they're taking some damage. It's 2R1C, the battles of the seas as they move forward and collapse on their knock that they got, and it looks like they are not interested in fighting.
Force is the real deal. So I'm looking at our partner squads. It says, look at these open squads. Hey, you guys might be good. You guys might be doing your thing, but this is our house, so you're not coming in and taking over.
There goes the Nemesis, and it's going to absolutely rip coming in from Forces. That's going to be our first team going down. You can see the scout without the scope, Tony. That's kind of, talk about a nemesis. That is my arch nemesis. That's the last thing that I want to get off the rip, but these guys making it look extremely clean. Another 50-50 taking place this time. We didn't get an opportunity to really talk about team comps, which you could see there's a huge diversity in terms of the team comps. You can see some catalyst queues on the ground right now. Those spikes are going to be putting in work, but it's not enough for Leave No Witness. They're taken down. This team was popping off last week, Tony, and they're getting kind of 17th place, 0 points. He's going to kind of show you what this lobbies are going to be like. Even though you may not recognize these names particularly, these are some players. These guys are some gamers, Internerd gaming into a fight as well. So many 50-50s, it's hard to keep track.
But this is how I want my open nights to be. Like, you know, if you're an amateur player looking to make a name for yourself, come in hungry. Come in. This is valuable practice for you guys, and maybe even some good money as well on top of that. This is you putting everybody on notice that you are here and you are the real deal. So I want these open nights to continue to get better and better, and you are the real deal. So I want these open nights to continue to get better and better, like you talked about before. I want these guys to be hungry and to show us what really they're made of.
and things slowing down temporarily here at Skyhook, but we know that there's multiple fights that were taking place in the area too. We know how easy this particular spot of Skyhook is for third parties, so High Peak has to be careful, already knowing how weak Unknown Crime is. He gets taken down by Autovant, who is one of the kind of premier guys in terms of rank. This guy is an absolute beast. Surprised to see that they're going to even challenge that team, because this team is extremely strong, especially, again, with two other teams in the vicinity. So a third party definitely taking place. 2R1 seed, they get into a fight as well. Looks like they are on the verge of dropping someone that is streaming on a different platform. Tony, we're not going to talk about that platform, all right? We're twitch.tv/Esports Arena. That's where you want to be. Open up multiple tabs. Tell your friends.
That's all I know. It's twitch.tv/Esports Arena. That's all I know. As we find out where that hill's going to be going to, the inner hill, pulling a little bit more towards Fragment West, a little bit of Epicenter, so lots being covered here, even a touch of Survey Camp. You have a lot of teams that are comfortable within this inner circle, but some teams that have to make really long rotation. I'm looking at Cruisin' and Stankini, even on the opposite side towards Thermal Station, G2's former spot, Kikis and them. Really long rotation just to make it in towards that outer circle, and then if they really are comfortable playing zone, they have to hike even further than that.
Stankini, I feel like that's what my Pop Filter's nickname would be after I'm done casting for the day. As you see, MJ, he's off of Horizon. He's on Catalyst right now. I don't know how I feel about this, man. This is a hard breakup to watch.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure he's mad at all the nerfs that happened. Like, I'm pretty sure we only know MJ from Horizon. Like, this man got a complete nerf from EA. He's just too good, hitting too many shots, moving way too good. Meanwhile, Icy getting iced out real quick, putting intel in possibly a 2v3 scenario.
Once he was bringing to the table, leave no witness. They go down again in their 50-50. Razor, they were popping off last week. What do they have in store for us, Tony? They got eliminated early in game number 1. What can they do in the Harvester side right now in game number 2? Trying to control the middle of Harvester, always the way that you want to play this one when you're going for the 50-50.
We talked about how good Leave No Witnesses have played week after week. Specifically when I was casting with you, the last time, Leave No Witnesses were murdering Lobbies and winning these 50-50 gunfights and even making it to end games. I think they even won a game, maybe even 2 over the couple weeks. But so far, back-to-back 50-50 losses, and I wonder if we're going to see a strategy change now coming in from them. Meanwhile, we see the 2x on the Wingman. We see the 2x on the R99. It's only about time we see a 2x on the P2020. And oh my gosh, kind of shredding a bit. New meta.
I'm not quite sure if he was shooting that as fast as you possibly can, but Razor, it doesn't matter. They're still going to be able to win this team fight here very shortly. Just a couple more shots. And he's got the Mozambique in the back pocket. Everyone's favorite loadout to start the game. P20, Mozambique, it doesn't matter for Team Razor. They are going to get the res. They're going to take that 50-50 as Team NorCal ends up getting eliminated. Put them on the board. Again, wasn't able to get out of their 50-50 originally in game number 1, but they are going to in game number 2 and maybe get a little bit of momentum going forward here as we still have 5 more games remaining in the season. We got a Mad Maggie sighting here, Tony. There goes the wrecking ball down the stairs. That thing's going to bounce around. I'm notorious for hitting my teammates with that.
No more P20 and Mozambique combinations ain't arenas anymore. We got R99s, we got Nemesises, we got some wrecking balls as long as C-Square doesn't have it in hands. Valkyrie going right through the catalyst wall. Look at that vision clutter. They're able to secure those kills, but my gosh, can't see a single thing but the loot that's coming in. Roller on top, get eliminated. Guess they're not on top for long. Back in the lobby they go, and hold on, is that a ship? What's going on over here? Is that a res?
So sometimes it really just depends. The ships will start to fly over the map right when the zone starts to close. It was this like crazy addition that was one of those extremely unnecessary additions where why do we need more sound? Why do we need more things to scare us and make it things like there's enemies around when I'm just trying to listen to where footsteps are? But yes, that was definitely his ship. As you see some more flying action coming in from Cloaked. He is going to piece on out of Skyhook and try to make it on over towards his teammate Matt, who's conveniently located on the opposite side. So everyone kind of playing their life here. One of those instances, Tony, where you wish that you did have a Loba on your team or some sort of support legend that is going to be able to craft that banner, get it back. You can see where the zone's going to be pulling. It's going to be over towards the northeast side of the map, and it's going to be pings on Overlook, which is a completely wide open POI right now. But we have
a Revenant right now, so we can't tell what they're trolling or is this absolutely serious. Tyson needs a pop-off moment. They're trying to contest on that accumulative leaderboard, and sometimes you just got to get a little bit weird with Revenant.
Get it back.
And mind you, this is the same Tyson that was running the, what was it, Caustic, Gibby, and Newcastle composition, now bringing Revenant in, and I feel like, I hate Revenant, I'm gonna be honest with you, but usually if you're gonna try to make it work, I feel like you have to combine it with an Octane, right? You know, use that Rev all doing the damage, get sent back to Totem, and then hopefully right back into the action via the Octane jump pad. That's what I would imagine, but apparently Rev Wraith is the new combo.
Yeah, if you're gonna like do it, you just gotta go all the way in, right? I mean, just play crypto as well, and then hit the EMP, send the jump pad in, full send that thing. As you can see, one team was a little bit scared. They had a duo on the back of Dome, and they pieced out, and they're probably thinking on the opposite side with Tyson, like, haha, yeah, we were Revenant, we scared them. No, man, that was just them as a duo, okay? They're piecing out because they didn't want that 2v3 smoke, not because of your Revenant, my guy.
I will say I like Revenant as like a rat player. Like, you know, if your players go down and get turned to banners, you totem up, grab their banners, get sent back to the totem. It's like it's an interesting strategy. As Finns are getting some beautiful shots with that wingman. A team in this ultimate high ground must be frustrating here for Intel. I can't imagine them wanting to play this for too long. And what's their angle to make it up here? Are they gonna try to crack them and then try to find a way up into that high ground, or will Intel decide maybe to rotate out? Actually, hold on.
No way.
Preparing the bracelet, Intel might be getting a lot more aggressive. Clearly, I don't know what I'm talking about.
That'd be an insane move, but he may have information that they got out of there. And I'm not gonna lie, going back to Revenant, last time I played Revenant, don't tell anybody this, but actually someone used the own death totem against me, so I put down the death totem, then the other team swooped up, used it, and then they came back and killed me.